about time, man. All it's been doing is raining around here. Parental guidance and user discretion advised. I'm not going to complain. Oh, I'm going to miss it. And my ma, staying as young as she is. She's always active. She is 79 years old. And my mom's lawnmower went down. So my brother Scooby take care of his business. My little brother. Went out and bought my mom a lawnmower. Not that she couldn't afford it, it just, I knew she needed one, and she needed one. And I can afford it, and my mom deserves it, and my mom is a really good woman. I mean, if nothing else, she made this shoe shack possible, and I'm so grateful for it. She gave me the foundation of the garage. I actually tried to buy this garage, half of it, back in the day from my dad right here. Tried to buy this half so I'd have a place to work for $5 grand. And we ain't gonna go what was said, but it's okay, you know. It is what it is. But then, like I said, I added all this on. But this is not what the video's about. It's been a rough week. Don't feel sorry for me. It's just life. My point is, you gotta push the fuck through. It's just what you gotta do. I did get this organized. I got my lift set up so my chop doesn't leave it anymore. I need to buy some pallet racking, like they have warehouses, so I can put some storage up here. I got this from BW Darren. I was actually realized that this takes a lot of room up the spray machine. You don't use it very often, but when it's time to use, it's priceless. Anyway, it took me forever to do that. The bagger, I blew a jug gasket. Now she's blowing oil, which she'll still run, but I don't ride anything that blows oil because it just blows all the way down and makes a mess. This is how you can tell how many times I put jug gaskets on this thing. I mean, I think it's the way I ride, to be honest. I mean, for some reason, when I ride my Harleys, I think I'm racing the wind, if that makes any sense. I just ride as fast as I can. Is that stupid? Yeah. I guess that's my release from life. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even know why I do it. I know it's really stupid, especially on a bike. But anyway, so what I can remember is I got to pull the gas tank off, pull the seat off. I believe I have to disconnect the trainer or loosen everything up and tilt. This is the back jug. Tilt the motor to pull the parts, the top of the jug off. Do I remember how to do it? No, but you know, YouTube's always there, so you just do that. This is sad. This has only been on the road one time, fully insured, no plate. I did a couple smoky burnouts and I haven't rode it since. The reason being, I've just been doing a lot of yard work. I had a lot of leaves at the house that we bought that really turned into mulch. And when I bought the house, blah blah blah, you know, we had 4 foot, no, I'm sorry, that's exaggeration, probably 2 foot of leaves that I thought were leaves, but I found it from the neighbors that it was just mulch, and it's really hard to pitchfork that shit up on trailer. But anyway, so I need to work on that today. And then even though it's illegal in my area, see, it's weird. Harley, you can run drag pipes on it. They pull you over, they give you a fix-it ticket, you bring it down, you swap out pipes, bring it down there, and they write the ticket off, costs no money. This is what's weird. DNR, you run a can, which is a header, blah, blah, blah. You get caught with a header on DNR trails, and that's the only place you got to ride around here, which costs you 50 bucks to ride on. You run a can out in the woods, you're running this on the street, where you're pissing people off in the neighborhood. You're in the woods, and the DNR catches you, they give you a ticket. It's $125 if you get a ticket. Whatever. Anyway, I'm putting it on anyway. Well, you can see, last year is my first year of snowmobiling, and I learned a few things. You got this shield right here, so when you're going in reverse and you swing it around like Rockford style and you think it's gonna work, no, you actually just, your sled just kind of tips over and you break this piece off like a dumbass. Oh, you think that's a dumbass move? Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. You're gonna love this one. And if you guys laugh, I'm okay with it, because I would laugh too. Oh man, I hope I didn't lose a piece. Anyway, I'm not even fucking with it. I'm not even. Okay, what else has not been the greatest around here? I go take the padlock off the back garage door, and it just comes out, and it doesn't go back in. They just really don't make things that nice. And my winter S10 truck is all done. I have been working on that. I bought some winter tires, and then my brother Bob that passed away, he was always a rim and tire man. He believed, and so did I, if you put a pair of rims on a station wagon, rust it out, it just looks better. So he had these laying around here, and it actually bolts right up to the S10 truck. I had to order special lug nuts like Craigrass's tees, but I think they're called Daisies. They're actually 8.5-inch rims with 7.5-inch tires, which make them pancake out a little bit. But I like winter tires where it's square, because it actually grabs really well. Went and got some stuff from the for the Astra van. I got one tire on the S10 because I want to make sure it cleared. Oh, we're going to get to the Ranger. That's where you're going to laugh. Yeah, fuck this shit. I just did one rim because I wanted to make sure it cleared. And it actually does clear. I didn't think I thought the Ranger was trashed, but it wasn't. I'll tell you what bonehead move I did. Took the bed liner out and stuff, and took the tonneau cover out because I could not find a tonneau cover that's a long box, an S10. They're almost impossible. I couldn't find one. Anyway, so I took it off the Ranger, and it hangs off about a couple inches. I'm good with that bucket. Got a receiver so I can haul my snowmobile. That's a 2-inch. I'm all into snowmobiling. I am, trust me. Trying to get prepared. Not that you guys care. She's about the most plain drain truck I've ever seen, and I really, 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 really like this truck because it's so plain Jane, and it runs really good. I changed all the fluids in it, greased all the fittings. She'd be ready to rock. I think she has 127,000 miles on it, a 4.3. And what am I looking in here for? Because I've already fucking forgot. Are you serious, dude? 1, 2, 3, walk away, because I can't remember what I even came into. Oh, see, ADHD. I jump to conclusions and I forget shit. Maybe because it's old age. I don't know. Because I'm tired of pulling the balls off, I just bought another receiver for 1 7/8 ball. So it's in and out, good to go. Oh, here's a boner move. When you put a hitch on the back of your S10 truck and you bolt it up and then you decide to weld it too because you just don't want nothing bad to happen in the wintertime. Because that's the worst time for anything to happen when you're towing something especially. So you unhook all the tail lights and stuff because you don't want to burn no wires, and then you leave the wires undone because you figure you don't need the wires hooked up right away, so you go start your truck and your fucking truck don't start. And it don't start, and you can't figure it out. So you go out and buy a new fuel filter. It still don't fucking start. The fuel pump is maybe on the other side. So what you do is you take the bed liner out and you cut a hole. You cut a hole so you don't have to drop the gas tank. Fuel pump must be in the garage. And you put a fuel pump on it, still don't start, still don't start, still don't start. Long story short, apparently that gas tank ground is hooked to the same wire harness. Duh! And as soon as I hooked that up, she started. That's a bonehead move. Okay. I thought this was a pretty slick move. I know I'm bouncing all over. This is what I did. I took, you got a cargo van front end compared to a conversion van has a smaller headlights and a different grill. So I pulled that up from the junkyard. And every acid van that I've ever looked at, now I looked at a lot of them, I don't know why, but it always rusts out on the passenger side. I don't know why. Maybe there's a water drip here. So I'm thinking, I'll fabricate this stuff down here because it's not no big deal, but to do this and do this and do this, it's a lot of fucking fabricating and hammering and dolly and English wheel, and I'm thinking, no, I'm not gonna do that. So if this is the passenger side, you get a battery operated sawzall. You go to the junkyard and you say, hey, this wheel well, if you flipped it over, this wheel well right there, if you took this and flipped it, brought it around here, and magically put it on, it would fit. Voila. They make that patch real quick. This is a 4.3. It's got 143,000 miles. I'm making this into something I can go visit my son in California. Let's move on. So, how'd that Ranger get here? I tow-dollied it with my mom's truck because I pushed all the transmission fluid out of it. I felt that it was blowing transmission fluid between the bell housing and the motor. I was incorrect. So in the meanwhile, I need that plow truck up and running so I can level my back driveway so I can get in the back part of the yard. And because there's so many goddamn leaves, I actually was using that to plow. Well, meanwhile, I jump on this. You know, I think I told you got 214,000 miles. This is one thing I did learn because I lose everything. Put your keys on top of your roof. I learned that from custom creation. Just do it. That way you'll know where it's at. Now I went through and put all the fluids in it, and now it does this. As my carpet tunnel hand is going numb. Do I gotta push on the brake? What do you want me to? Be calm, Tom. Hear the squealing? This is one thing I do like. It's got a backup camera. It's got forward drive, all-wheel drive, low, high, whatever. It's a 4.2. I don't know nothing about them. This is one thing that's nice. It's got remote start on it. The point being is, now I gotta put this on, which shouldn't be a big deal. But the point is, I don't need this now. Am I gonna get rid of it? No, because me and my mom are both gonna, they want commercial brake. Basically where my S10 is sitting, there's my mom's house, and there's my S10 truck is sitting right there. So it's, I don't know how many feet is past yard. Just got to turn around the front. But in Michigan, we do dolomite, because if you do, we want to put blacktop in, or cement, at both of our houses, but they tax you. They tax you like they tax you with a fucking pool. It's just outrageous. It's ridiculous what it is. They tax you for a fence, they tax you for a metal roof, they tax you for siding. But anyway, I'm sure it happens everywhere. Anyway, they wanted $4,000 to come and lay dolomite down. I can buy 5 yards of dolomite delivered to my house for like $209, just dumped. So that's why I was trying to get the plow truck up and running so they'll dump it so I can level it out or whatever and do it at my house too. So that's why I jump out. I'm going to swap over plows on this, because that was only 800 bucks. I could sell it, but I won't, because I don't know. Anyway, this is how stupid I am. The Ranger, when I pushed all the transmission fluid out of the Ranger, I crawled underneath the passenger side. Passenger side has 2 transmission lines that run up along the bell housing, apparently. It wasn't the warmest out, and it was dark, and that's just an excuse, and it's my responsibility because I fucked up. So I'm just watching the transmission fluid drip, drip. I didn't notice at first, but between the bell housing and the motor, transmission fluid is just dripping the fuck out of it like crazy, excuse my language. And I asked around, and he told me the seal's probably blew, okay? And you gotta drop the trans, and then maybe put a seal in. But because I ran all the transmission fluid out of it until it wouldn't move, probably smoked the transmission. So I'm figuring, I don't know how many miles are on it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, so I bring it up, tow dolly it over here, and I take it off the tow dolly, and I'm not pushing it inside the shoe shack. So what I do is, I just dump the transmission fluid in it, some old dirty shit I had laid on it, and I pulled it in the garage, so I wasn't pushing it. And I put it on the hoist and lifted it up, and I don't know why, but it was starting to drip, so I got a pan, you know, of course, and I looked again, and I'm thinking, you're a stupid ass, Tom. This is what, it was not coming out of that seal between the bell housing and the motor block. There was 2 transmission lines running right here that somebody had spliced and diced with a rubber hose, and that clamp had come loose, and it was touching the bell housing, dripping down the backside of the bell housing, dripping down, and it looked like it was coming out. So I assumed, yeah, you know the old famous word KISS, keep it simple, stupid? That means don't tear shit apart and don't assume until you look at it. But I was in such a hurry because I'm trying to get shit done that's what happened. So I told my mom, I said, that's really stupid, Mom, that I overlooked that and bought a Blazer. And then my mom tried to make me feel better, which she did. She goes, dolomite's going to be hard to push on both of our driveways. At that Ranger, because we don't know if that I put new transmission fluid in Lucas. She seems to work, but I don't know if the bands are burnt, because I haven't really drove it that much. And once we do the driveways and do that dolomite, it's heavy to push, and we smoke it then we got a backup for the Trailblazer. That's how stupid I am. Don't overlook shit, people. Don't. It'll cost you money. I think that's about all I got. Oh, here's another thing. It wasn't really. A lot of things have been happening. You know, you just gotta push through. Come out here and I'll listen to the radio. The fucking amplifier smoked. So what the shoe's got now, he bought another amplifier, used one. Shoe got a little fan on it so she don't get hot, because when she's enclosed in here, you know, she gets a little warm.